Aleix Espargaro now down in second place on that 140.067, but we're expecting the lap times to tumble in the closing stages of this session. Then Fabio Quartararo will finally now see what the reigning world champion has up his sleeve in the final 5 minutes.
Looks like the Red Bull KTM Tech 3 riders aren't entertaining going into a time attack mode here. If our tyre graphics right, Remy Gardner's out there on a hard front, hard rear tyre. Pratt's just using this time in the hot conditions, replicating sort of race time on Sunday just to get as much data as he can possibly on the worn tyres for the Grand Prix on Sunday. Likewise, Ralph Fernandez, he's out there on a hard front, medium rear. Everybody else, apart from those two rookies, no great surprise, has gone full-on time attack mode with soft rear tyres. Miguel Oliveira tasted the victory here 12 months ago. Over the line, the Portuguese man comes, a 1:49.04. Oliveira at the moment, I'm not able to improve on his lap time this morning. He's only 0.03 of a second down. Of course, now building up speed, building up rhythm on those slick, soft tyres.
So a number of personal bests in the first sector then. We're watching Luca Marini then, who's 2/10 off, as you can see at the first sector point of this lap. Bagnaia has basically matched Marini's first sector point. Marini losing a little bit of time in that second sector. The Aprilia certainly looking good through there as it's able to pull out time on Marini. Jorge Martin then in the final sector of his lap as well. These are the riders now trying to jockey for position, try and put themselves in the best position possible heading into Saturday morning, that crucial free practice 3 session tomorrow morning. Martin then just looking out of our commentary box window, waiting for him to come across the finish line. And Martin, here he is over the line. Does he move himself into the top 10? Much better than that. He just misses out on a 1:39, but Martin now up to second.
That's more like it from Jorge Martin on the Prima Pramac Ducati, a 1:40.035. Slops him up into second place. Whatever he was reading on the computer, it seems to have worked. Computer says yes on this occasion then for Jorge Martin. Good lap. That's still over 0.3 of a second away from Maverick Viñales. That 1:39.705. Viñales still at the moment the only man that's found a sub 140 lap, although that's now been equalled by Pecco Bagnaia. He's down into the 39s as well with a 1:39.950. Advantage Viñales by now just under a quarter of a second.
The Ducati's certainly growing into it, aren't they? A lot of them moved up there. Both Bezzecchi and Marini improving. They're now inside the top 7, just as they were a few days ago, of course, in the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello. And Fabio Di Gianantonio, he's out to prove that that pole position in Mugello was no fluke. He's now up into the top 10 in 8th.
Now then, this was a bit close between good buddies, VR46 Academy colleagues, Pecco Bagnaia and Luca Marini. A hand of apology from Marini as they go down the hill into turn 5. You'll see a lanky Marini come up the inside of his great pal here. They sort of both just have a handshake. I don't think those two are ever going to fall out real bosom buddies back over at the Tavulia camp now. Then Fabio Quartararo will have a check on the world champion down in 14th place at the moment. He has found an improvement in lap time this afternoon, a 1:40.837. Here he comes then through turn 11. He'll flick it right then through 12, building speed and momentum as you then drop down into the crucial turns 13 and 14. Quartararo at the moment, that may well be a lap that should put him maybe inside the top 10. Aleix Espargaro, so far so good for the factory Aprilia team with Viñales top of the pile. Aleix Espargaro comes over the line with a 1:41.259. He should be comfortably inside that provisional top 10 as Fabio Quartararo just squeezed himself up into 9th place. Best work of the day so far from the number 20 then, a 1:43.65.
He's got a chance for one more timed lap with that. We could still see a change at the top. The Aprilia of Aleix Espargaro has just gone red through the first sector. Only 3,000ths up though on his teammate Andrea Dovizioso. We've currently got 5 Ducatis I make it inside the top 10. João Zarco's trying to join them. He stays down in 14th position though. We've not seen the best from João Zarco yet so far on this free practice Friday. He's got one more lap to try and change that. Joan Mir, another rider, of course, who had a rotten Friday 1 week ago in Mugello, and it never really improved from there. He's currently down in 20th position. His teammate Alex Rins has looked competitive right from the get-go this morning, but we're yet to see the best from Joan Mir. He's got this lap. He should get over the line for one more lap after this one.
Just looks a bit lost at the moment, doesn't he? Not really loving life right now, whereas Joan Mir, of course, he was all set to re-sign a new 2-year contract with Suzuki when the rug was well and truly pulled out from underneath his feet, and the entire team with that bombshell announcement. And it really has seemed to have knocked Joan Mir all out of kilter. He's down in 20th place at the moment. Aleix Espargaro, though, he loves this Barcelona circuit. He grew up just 3 kilometres away, and it looks like he may well be on course here to make a stunning Aprilia 1-2 here on Friday practice in Montmello. Espargaro comes over the line and goes up into 9th place. It's his older sibling, though, Aleix Espargaro, that's about to make the headlines potentially here. We're on board with the Aprilia man now. He comes over the line and he finds a 1:39.402. Job done then by Aleix Espargaro. Surely that's going to be the best time of the day on the opening day here in Barcelona. Quartararo does find more late speed. He gets down to a 1:40.123. Quartararo then down in 8th place. He's taken the checkered flag. What about his compatriot, Johann Zarco? Had a pretty eventful Friday this time last week in Mugello. A couple of crashes to kick off his Italian Grand Prix weekend. An exceptional recovery from Zarco. Qualified 4th and finished 4th in Mugello. Over the line he comes, Zarco. He will stay down in 9th place. There is the checkered flag then, and it will be Aprilia's Aleix Espargaro, courtesy of a fantastic 1:39.402, which will take top spot from his teammate Maverick Viñales. A quick look at the timing screen. I don't think anybody's going to be dislodging those two Aprilias. The dream season just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it, for Aprilia?
Well, Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Viñales have had a 1-2 on the grid in qualifying as teammates before, of course, when they were Suzuki teammates back in 2015. Could they potentially repeat that in Aprilia colours 24 hours from now? Unseen by the TV cameras, Enea Bastianini consolidated 3rd place. He's done a 1:39.890. He's a fraction ahead of another trio of Ducatis. Bagnaia currently 4th ahead of Martin and Miller. Here's Pol Espargaro then, who's going to need a pretty godly final sector if he's to dislodge Franco Morbidelli from the top 10. Across the line he goes, and he can't quite do it. A 40.4 for him. Brad Binder on a late charge on the KTM. He moves up into the top 6 on the KTM. So Franco Morbidelli, after an impressive Friday, is just edged out of the top 10. And that's the best we've seen from KTM so far today.